Hello and welcome back to my garage. We're into the beginning of January just now. The weather's still rubbish outside. Not been able to get out on the bikes really, but I've been doing some more work on the Mighty Tiger. Yesterday I decided to lower the bike. Yeah. I've often felt it was a wee bit too tall for me. It seats on its lowest setting. I could go with the low seat, which at about 180 odd quid, it's a lot of money. Plus the downside is that it isn't heated, and whereas this one is. So I didn't want to lose that heating. On my previous Tiger 800, I did lower that as well. I changed the rear links and lowered the front end. I never had any trouble with that bike whatsoever. So I thought, right, I'm going to go down the same route again. So basically, I've removed the two rear dog bones and I've replaced them with ones that are 30 millimeters lower from Lust Racing. Exactly the same links basically that I used before on my Tiger 800. So that meant basically removing the dog bones from the back here and replacing them with the ones from Lust Racing down here, as you can see. And at the front end, to balance it all up, basically it meant dropping the, or bringing the fork tubes up by 10 millimeters by basically slackening off the bolts on the top yoke and also the ones on the bottom yoke. Quite an easy job actually. I didn't film it, although I have actually done some recordings of the different various settings, which I'll add into this video. Just excuse the poor sound quality and things. I didn't actually intend making a video of this, but now from the footage that I've got, I thought actually it might be quite useful for other owners. I don't wish to show you how to fit them. That being said, it's actually quite an easy job, but if you're not confident, there's no way I want to show you how to muck about with your suspension. If you're confident in doing it, by all means go ahead and do it, it's quite easy. By lowering it, what it did mean is that when it's on its side stand, it's very vertical. So what I've also done is I purchased another side stand. This is the standard side stand that came off the bike, and what I've bought is the side stand from the Triumph Tiger GT low ride height version. So the stand is actually just slightly lower, which means this bike now just tilts over at a really nice angle. So what difference has it made to the bike? Well, getting on it, piece of cake, you slide over and whip it up. And this bike, compared to the old 800, it just feels such a low centre of gravity. It's just so easy. So now I can get on the bike without any problem at all and flat foot it. At the moment it's on its lowest setting. If I was to use the electronic suspension and raise it up to its highest setting, I can still flat foot with my bike boots on quite comfortably. So it's transformed this bike for me. I was always felt you're on tiptoes and it's fine on nice level ground, but when you're just kind of in slopes or kind of gravelly bits, when you put your foot down, if you can't get a very secure footing, you lose confidence. I ran my Tiger 800 with this kind of setup for years without any problem at all. So for me, the pros are, you feel so much more in control. I've lowered the centre of gravity of the bike slightly, so hopefully that will be a good thing as well. Are there any downsides to this? Well, yes, there are. Potentially, by lowering its right height, you might compromise its ground clearance slightly, but I reckon you've got to be banked over pretty flippin' damned hard on the edge of your tyres before it's really going to scrape. The only other thing is potentially getting the bike up onto the centre stand has now made it, although it's not difficult at all, it's just made it slightly harder, whereas this bike was actually really easy to get on the centre stand. So, but to me, that's not a problem. And it's still much easier than it was in the Tiger 800. That was a real bitch to try and get it on the centre stand. I used to roll it up onto a wee sloping piece of wood sometimes on the back wheel just to raise the back end up. But an easier way to get this bike onto the centre stand is if you're coming back from a ride, or if you want to use the centre stand, just use the electronic suspension, put it up to the rider, passenger and luggage setting, and it jacks the back end up that wee bit, which gives you a wee bit more height to lift it onto the centre stand a wee bit easier. But either way, it's easy either way, to be honest. To me, I don't really see any downsides to it, only advantages from the fact of feeling much, much more secure on the bike. I'll add in some of the footage that I took yesterday. It's not great, but it does actually give you a good indication of the differences between the standard suspension, having purely the back lowered with the Lust Racing links, and also with the rear lowered and the front lowered, and also the difference between this on its suspension low setting and also fully jacked up to the rider pillion and luggage setting. This is the bike with my standard suspension set in its lowest setting, and the seat in its lowest setting, and my legs in a comfortable position, not forcing them to be straight. I can just potentially touch the ground if I force it. But this is a natural position to be in, with my balls of my foot, both feet flat on the ground, and my heels raised off the ground. This is the bike now with the Lust Racing lowering links. I've only lowered the back so far, I've not touched the front end, and my feet are planted firmly on the ground, really comfortably. That's made a massive difference, it really, really has. This is her fully lowered now, with the front suspension lowered by 10 millimetres. And feet planted firmly on the ground, very comfortably. Just, yeah, so easy to feel that you're in control of the ride now. Yeah, superb, excellent job. That just feels so nice now. This is the bike now fully lowered, front and back, and I've pumped the suspension up to its high setting, and I've got my bike boots on, and I can just flat foot it. More comfortable just on the balls, but the heels are almost touching, but it still feels very much in control, whereas it was very high before. I didn't like it. That is a brilliant difference in it. Just I'll lower the suspension down, back. That's the suspension now back in its lowest setting, and wow, I can so comfortably flat foot it now with my boots on. That is just fantastic, absolutely fantastic. As you can see from the front and rear photo, my foot is firmly planted on the ground, and with a nice comfortable bend at the knee compared to the other two foot pictures. Perfect. I just feel so just relaxed on it. It just fits like a glove. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bike. So I hope you enjoyed that wee bit of footage that I put in there, and you could see the differences that I've made to the bike. I hope you found this video useful. We'll continue, since it's still January and can't get out, there was some more wee videos coming up of me making this bike more mine, getting it ready for the 2023 riding season, which hopefully is not far away now. Anyway, take care, ride safe, and I'll see you on the next one.